Hello everyone, welcome back to another Project Gladiator weather forecast. Today I'm going to be covering the weather for November 19th of 2023, which is also my birthday. But taking a look at the weather for today, we have a marginal threat for central Oklahoma there. As for threats for today, we do have a 5% hail threat, but we don't really have all that much of a wind threat or a tornado threat, so I'm going to be primarily going over this hail threat for today. This threat was expected to be a slight risk earlier when it first was issued as the day 4 outlook, but that has been downgraded due to a variety of reasons. Overall, the threat for severe thunderstorms isn't really all that great as what it was looking like a couple days back, but we are still expected to see some severe thunderstorms for today. Hello everyone, I do want to step in the midst of this video real quick. This is post-editing Project Gladiator here. By the time of originally recording our day 2 Outlook overlook, it was a slight risk with a 5% tornado threat, a 15% wind threat, and a 15% hail threat. However, that has since been increased to an enhanced risk for Louisiana into southern Mississippi, with a 10% tornado threat with the hatched area for the threat of violent tornadoes in the affected areas. So we are expected to see weak tornadoes with the possibility of strong tornadoes for the enhanced risk region, as well as the threat for some strong damaging winds and the threat for some small to medium hail. Again, the primary threat is expected to be our 10% tornado threat by tomorrow. I probably will go live when I do have the chance tomorrow for this threat for tomorrow. So again, if you do live in the affected areas, you definitely want to be staying weather alert, as again, we could potentially see some strong tornadoes and weak tornadoes are expected. Then let's take a look at our day 3 outlook. Currently, we have a marginal threat for the deep southeast, for southern Alabama, parts of Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, as well as parts of Mississippi and Louisiana, which is currently just issued as a probabilistic 5%. Taking a look at our WPC outlooks, something that I do want to mention before I go any further is that any outlooks that I look at in any of these videos are subject to change, so things are definitely expected to change between now and then for the variety of these forecasts, which includes severe weather, heavy snow, as well as excessive rainfall. Virtually anything, any forecast that I look at are subject to change. So if you are concerned about the weather for your location, I highly suggest watching for updates on things like the Weather Channel. But taking a look at our excessive rainfall forecast for today, we currently don't have any areas issued for flash flooding. But for day 2 until day 4, we currently have things issued for flash flooding. For tomorrow, we currently have a marginal threat for the Mississippi River Valley, where we are expected to see those severe thunderstorms. For day 3 outlook, we have a marginal threat that is extending from Alabama up to Pennsylvania and New Jersey for the Appalachian region in the Atlantic Basin. For our day 4 outlook, we currently have a marginal threat issued for the New England corridor for Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. However, for day 5 outlook, we currently don't have anything issued as far as flash flooding. And then for our winter weather outlook, starting off with today, we are expected to see quite a bit of heavy snow for the Rocky Mountains, and I'm going to be covering this in today's forecast as well. We are expected to see some heavy snow for the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, as well as parts of northern Arizona and northern New Mexico. And again, I will be going over that in today's forecast as well. And then for our day 2 outlook, we do have a very small area here for Colorado where we could see some heavy snow, but overall snow should be light for Colorado tomorrow. And then for our day 3 outlook, we are expected to see a little bit of snow for the New England corridor. And then for our day 4 outlook to day 7 outlook, which are more subject to change than our day 1 to 3 outlooks, is we are expected to see some heavy snow for the Northwest as well as the New England corridor. For day 5 outlook, we are expected to see a little bit of a snowstorm from our day 4 to day 6 outlook. And on our day 5 outlook, we are expected to see quite a bit of snow continue to propagate southeastward for Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, as well as Montana. For day 6 outlook, we are not expected to see all that much snow compared to our day 5 outlook, but we are expected to see some snow for Colorado and the Central Plains. And then for day 7 outlook, we are expected to see some snow for southern Colorado and northern New Mexico, as well as some snow in the New England corridor. Then let's take a look at some of our surface analysis and frontal systems that we are expected to see today. Um, Taking a look at the latest outlook that's currently issued, we have a cold front that is draped back from Kansas into New Mexico, across the Oklahoma Panhandle and Texas Panhandle. It is a little bit behind, and it is expected to arrive to the marginal threat later tonight and fire off those severe thunderstorms. However, it isn't currently like shown, but we are expected to see a warm front that is going to be ahead of that cold front, which is going to fire off some rain showers ahead of that cold front, which is potentially going to stabilize the atmosphere, as those rain showers are going to be using up a little bit of the instability, and that is going to be one of the factors leading to overall a little bit more of a lower threat for severe thunderstorms than originally thought. Taking a look at our weather model, starting off with our 500 millibars like we usually do, you can see that we have that trough that did originate in the Pacific Ocean that impacted California and propagated across the Rockies. It is now setting up across the Central Plains, and again, that cold front is expected to arrive to the Central Plains. That's going to be firing off our severe thunderstorms later tonight in Oklahoma. And the shortwave trough is expected to support those severe thunderstorms. Overall, the marginal threat by the time the cold front arrives, the shortwave trough is expected to be moving eastward, and we are expected to see most of those outer edges of that shortwave trough. If the cold front was a little bit further down to the south, then we may have been able to see a little bit better of a threat for severe thunderstorms. Than originally thought, but overall, we should be catching those outer edges of that shortwave trough, which is still going to support a threat for severe thunderstorms, but it isn't going to be all that great. And that's going to be the second reason why we originally had a better threat for severe thunderstorms earlier, but now it has been on a downward trend, and we aren't expected to see all that much of a great threat for severe thunderstorms. But overall, this trough should still elongate hodographs to support the threat for small to medium hail. But we do have the directional shear to support tornadoes, but we aren't expected to have the instability to support tornadoes. And again, that's going to be one of the primary things that we're uncertain about with today's threat for severe thunderstorms, and that's going to be the instability in this region for today. As that cold front continues to progress, though, by the time it does enter the Mississippi River Valley, it is expected to be using the direct. It is expected to be directly impacted by this trough, is what I'm trying to say. We are expected to see the direct impacts from that trough. We aren't expected to catch the outer edges of the trough like we are seeing today, but we are expected to see some head-on influence from that trough, and that's going to be supporting that stronger threat for severe thunderstorms tomorrow in the Mississippi River Valley. Taking a look at our composite reflectivity so you have an idea of when and where you are expected to see our severe thunderstorms for today. Again, as I did mention previously, our severe thunderstorms are expected to develop mostly towards the later half of the day. Models haven't been really consistent about a exact time that the thunderstorms are expected to develop, but models have been indicating that we could potentially see our severe thunderstorms develop anywhere from 9 to 10 p.m. to possibly 12 to 1 a.m. in northern or central Oklahoma. In addition to our severe thunderstorms, that warm front is expected to bring quite a bit of rain showers, as I did mention previously, to the vast majority of the Central Plains and Midwest. And again, that's going to be leading to a little bit more stable atmosphere as those rain showers use up some of the instability in the atmosphere, and you can see those thunderstorms developing back behind those rain showers with that cold front. So it's going to be using the already used up instability from the rain showers. So a lot of these rain showers beforehand are expected to again use up the vast majority of our instability, giving our severe thunderstorms not really a lot of instability to really work with. Now we're going to be getting into the deep nitty-gritty of things regarding our more in-depth parts of our threat for severe thunderstorms for today. So starting off with our dew points, you can see those severe thunderstorms developing towards northern Oklahoma. We are expected to see fairly moderate moisture with dew points that are going to be ample, but overall fairly moderate, with dew points that are going to be getting into the upper 50s to the low 60s. That's definitely going to give us some instability, but overall our instability is expected to be fairly moderate. And notice how closely packed our instability is. You can see our cold front riding along that instability behind it, and then our warm front ahead of that. That's going to be kind of pinching off towards the marginal threat region where our warm front and cold front kind of come together. So the close proximity of our cold front and warm front is going to be leading to, again, overall a lower threat for severe thunderstorms than originally thought. And that's going to be the third factor that's going to be leading to, again, that lower threat for severe thunderstorms than we originally thought. Because of the close proximity of our warm front and cold front, that warm front, again, is going to be leading to those rain showers. Taking a look at our temperatures, focusing on the marginal threat area, as you can see, by the time our severe thunderstorms are expected to develop, it's going to be getting a little bit more colder because it is towards the end of the day. But you can see our warm sector fairly clearly here in the yellows, and you can again see the close proximity between our warm front and cold front. And our temperature values are fairly similar to our dew point values, with temperatures that are going to be getting into the upper 50s and the low 60s in our warm sector. Um, please correct me if I am wrong. I'm not entirely certain if this is true, but I'm fairly certain that it is. The close proximity of our dew point and temperature values, even though our temperatures aren't really the best, it is fairly chilly. But so our temperatures aren't really the best. That's going to be giving us a little bit lower instability, but due to how closely similar our dew point and temperature values are, that is going to be giving our instability a little bit of a boost and giving our severe thunderstorms instability to work with back behind our warm front, and overall boosting up our instability to really prevent all the instability being used up by the rain showers ahead of our cold front. And then if we take a look towards the west in the Rocky Mountains, you can see a cold front that is currently draped across the Rocky Mountains back into the Pacific Ocean through Southern California. This is progressing through already very chilly Rocky Mountains with temperatures that are below freezing, and that is going to be supporting our snow showers in the Rocky Mountains for today, and making the Rocky Mountains much colder behind that cold front. Another place that we are expected to see some fairly cold temperatures, especially at night, is going to be Michigan, Wisconsin, parts of Minnesota there, as well as the New England corridor, where we could see temperatures that are going to be getting below freezing at night. So that is something to be watching out for if you live in those affected areas. Taking a look at our instability, you can see in the warm sector, we are expected to see quite a bit of instability. It's going to be fairly moderate. We are expected to see K values are going to be back towards the 1000s and into the mid 1000s, but overall staying around the low 1000s. Again, that's going to be probably because of how moderate our dew points are and how chilly our temperatures are. But again, due to the close proximity of our dew point temperature values, that is going to be giving our instability a little bit of a boost to work with back behind our rain showers. As again, you can see just ahead of it. I'm not going to go too far ahead of it, like back up into Nebraska and Kansas. So it's still in close proximity of of our warm sector, you can see where our rain showers are. We aren't really seeing all that much instability because our rain showers are using the majority of it. But in our warm sector, we are expected to see some fairly moderate instability, which is going to be fueling our threat for severe thunderstorms and our threat for small to medium hail in this region. Taking a look at our bulk shear, I want to be taking a look at our bulk shear so we can get an idea of our shear combined with our instability for our threat for hail. Again, this is bulk shear, so a little bit of it might be directional shear, but again, as previously mentioned, we are catching the outside bands of that shortwave trough, which is going to be leading to overall lower end shear, as you can see. But lower end shear is going to be supportive of elongated photographs to support the threat for small to medium hail across this region, even if the majority of our directional shear is back towards the south and east sides of our marginal threat for today. Taking a look at our total snowfall accumulation, I'm going to be taking a look at this so we can get an idea of how much snow we are expected to see for today by the end of the model run. So, which does end in the very early morning of the 20th, or the very late evening of the 19th. So by the early morning of the 20th, we are expected to see quite a bit of snow with that cold front as it progresses over the Rocky Mountains in already below freezing temperatures. We are expected to see quite a bit of snow. In some areas, we could potentially see snowfall totals reaching up to 10 to 14 inches. But I would say around the average is probably going to be around 3 to probably 5 inches for the average in the Rocky Mountains as far as snowfall totals. Taking a look at our observed sounding for the areas, currently have a station at OKC in Oklahoma. Um, so let's take a look at the QT graph, where we are seeing some fairly chilly temperatures and some fairly lower end moisture, which is at 12Z, which is around, I think, 10 a.m. So overall, as time progresses, we should see that instability increase as well as our temperature and dew points increase. But overall, right now, we aren't really seeing a ton of instability. That's because it's so early in the morning when this sounding was taken. We are expected to see some fairly nice curvature in the hodograph, um, but we currently don't have any issued threat for tornadoes. But with our moderate instability, it is still before our 12:30 EST SBC updated outlook, so we may see an additional 2% tornado threat based on the amount of instability that we were expected to see on our most unstable cape models, as well as the fairly nice curvature in the low levels of that photograph. So again, we could potentially see a additional 2% tornado threat added here in the next couple of minutes. But you can see our very elongated photographs, or fairly elongated photographs, which is going to be supportive of our small to medium hail threat for today. Now that I've told you the weather, please go down to the description and check out the socials for Project Gladiator and join the Discord for any updates on Project Gladiator. And if you live in any of the areas that I covered for today, please stay weather alert for the time being. And if you notice anything might have been wrong with this forecast, or you have a question, or you would like to make a suggestion, please leave a comment. Two other channels that I highly suggest you check out are One Nation Weather and Weather Watcher. And additionally, congrats to Weather Watcher for growing extremely quickly and reaching 700 subscribers from 600 subscribers in the course of like 1 to 2 days. That's amazing to see him grow that quickly. And again, just that is amazing, One Nation Weather. So if you are watching this, much congrats to you. And hopefully, I should see you later today with a weekly overlook.